That's all we've learned about Lord Gulliver, sir.
Carry on. Inspector Heinkle, sir. You gave them each a good whack, I trust?
A good what?
I'm asking whether you were thorough enough.
No, sir.
Then don't say you searched top to bottom. Get some more men and start knocking walls before I knock you one in the head. Leave not a single stone unturned. I want every inch of this fort searched.
Yes, sir.
Uncle, I must say, my deductions have led me to believe that the murderer must have hidden beneath...
Oh, we have work to do, Sholmes. Try not to get in the way, will you? How about you, Idia? Have you noticed anything odd?
I'd say the banker and the landowner both strike me as a bit suspicious.
You think so, Well, what have we found out?
Sir, we did a background check on Mr. Lesser, but found nothing particularly noteworthy. He seemed quite pleased with the prospect of having Lord Gulliver take both the land and the building off his hands. The same for the banker, Mr. Noah Entrust. He stood to gain nothing from Lord Gulliver's untimely death.
Any ties between the two?
None. They say that today was their first time meeting one another.
If those two weren't in cahoots, then this really is a locked room case. We've found no evidence to identify a suspect definitively. But if we consider motive alone...
The one who would benefit most from Lord Gulliver's death would be his wife, who stands to inherit all his massive wealth.
True, but would she really try something so obvious?
So you thought so too. Let's look into her story without any preconceived notions. Listen, men. Every shred of evidence we gather brings us one step closer to catching our perp. A formal investigation is painstaking and laborious. But if we're thorough in the task, we will surely bring the culprit to justice.
Yes, sir.
What command! What presence! Now that is what true detective work is all about! Sorry, Aunt Kikyo, but I think the Force is the place for me to lead an investigative team. Oh. Surely you agree, my dear Whitson?
To think that you became a private investigator. Well, I guess it's no more surprising than Heinkle working for the police. So tell me, how does the Silent Sleuth see this case? As talkative as ever. That's some trick to pull off an investigation without ever opening your mouth.
All we know at present is that the victim was stabbed in the back with no sign of any struggle. We can assume that... the murderer was someone close to the late lord, which rules out Mr. Lesser, as the two had only just met today. However, that fat banker might be a different story. Mr. Entrust is worth looking at, as of course is the young... wife. She has the most obvious motive, but we have no actual proof, not to mention how she could gain entry.
Vash!
That is simply astounding. I've never heard anyone speak so rapidly. It's like she didn't even stop to breathe.
Yeah, it's been a while, but it never fails to leave an impression.
Sholmes! She spoke! Right you are, old chum. I dare say we have just experienced the Silent Sleuth's ninja power. Breathtaking.
But Kikyo, do you really think she could kill him in one go with those skinny arms?
Quite so.
You! Zip it! You know, Kikyo, the murderer must have been a pretty skilled assassin to pull this off. Someone...
What?
Lord Gulliver was stabbed right through to the heart. To deal such a blow with a rusted and neglected knife, such as this one here, would surely take two hands and the full weight of a body behind it. Yet look at this. The silver blade is discolored and there's purple mottling at the base of the neck. Evidence that the blade was coated with some kind of poison. All the murderer had to do was scratch Gulliver's skin. And here, this cut on the victim's leather belt shows that there was at least one missed strike. A derelict weapon, a wasted poison, a needlessly difficult method of killing. In short, this murder was no experienced assassin, but a rank amateur.
Right, not at all your style. Which leaves us with the wife as the prime suspect after all.
Madam Golddigger, I'm afraid we'll need to take you into custody as a material witness.
You mean, as a suspect? Oh, ridiculous! I didn't do it!
I can understand why you might say that. Madam, I do not enjoy using force.
What insight, what acumen, to determine so... It pains me to Do you not agree, my good Whitson? The poor woman. Material witness or no, to be confined to the very room in which one's husband was brutally murdered.
At least she should be safe, with the room being locked and all.
Keep watch on Madam Golddigger. No one comes up or down. Sholmes, what do you two intend to do?
We thought to examine this floor and further...
By Jove, I think I've...
What?
Sorry. I just had the sudden urge to say that.
Ugh. The rest of you come with me.
Huh? What happened to Kikyo?
Before we knew it, she had dashed off somewhere. Oh, and she left behind this note.
Investigating downstairs.
Oh, Miss Idia.
So, I hear your family is something else, Sholmes.
I wouldn't say that.
Really? Grandfather, a famous private detective? Father, a famous police commissioner? A best-selling mystery novelist for a mother? Not to mention Heinkel and Kikyo. I'd say that's pretty darn impressive.
Perhaps. Unfortunately, I'm far less so. To be honest, it's quite a burden. I had hoped the two of you might understand how I feel. The daughter of the Grand Marshal of Eternia, and the young heir to the illustrious House Genealogia.
Well, you know yourself best. So, what are you gonna do? Planning to enter the Unihana PD? Or is the life of a PI more for you?
They both have their own appeal, of course. Should I join, or should I use the deductive genius I was born with to become a famous PI, solving cases that have baffled ordinary minds the realm over? Miss Idia, which do you think would be a better use of my considerable talents?
Well, when you put it that way. Basically, it comes down to whether you'd rather start your career working for Heinkel or Kikyo, right? I bet whoever you turned down would try and convince you to reconsider. With force.
Do you really think so? Both my aunt and uncle seem frustrated with... I've come to think that they might even be relieved to not have me follow in their footsteps.
You may be less of a self-important spoiled brat than I thought. That's some insight after all. I guess it does run in the family. My advice would be to...
Observation is one of the most fundamental skills for any investigator, to be sure.
Don't give up. You're not wishing...
We are fast friends and partners, but even we... On a case, we stick to our own specialties and try not to interfere with each other's processes.
Your specialties?
Sholmes tends to rely on instinct and inspiration to make his deductions. I prefer to quietly analyze the details of a crime. I suppose we are both the products of our environments.
You also come from...
Oh, please, come off that. Sholmes' grandfather was a world-famous detective. Mine was a world-famous detective's aide. Sholmes' father became police commissioner, while mine was never promoted beyond lieutenant. His mother is a best-selling mystery novelist. Mine, a best-selling mystery novelist's assistant. Sholmes comes from a line of brilliant deductive geniuses, while I come from a line of glorified sidekicks. There are no Inspector Hankels or Silent Sleuth Kikyos among my... Not that I'd expect the heirs to the houses of Lee and Jenny Olja to understand.
So what are you gonna do once Sholmes figures out his career path?
Who knows? I can only do what I can, quietly, out of the spotlight.
I see. Sorry to interrupt your investigation.
He's...
Oh, Idia. I'll not be taking any ridiculous questions about why a knight like myself is now working for some backwater municipal police force.
Heinkel!
Do not worry. I have not betrayed your father's trust, nor have I turned my back on Eternia. My business is mine alone. Further prying will get no more out of me.
Murderer.
I would not object to telling you the tale, but now is not the time. I suggest you desist.
Inspector! You must see this, sir!
Understood. I'm on my way.
Heinkel!
What more can you have to pester me about?
Just, why are you still wearing that? I mean, you don't usually see a crime scene investigator in full plate armor.
Ha! Have you ever seen me in anything else? It'll take more than a job change to get me to lay these aside. Not to mention...
If you say so.
Sir!
Ah! Can you simpletons go 1 minute without hounding me? What is it this time?
It's Madame Golddigger, sir.
What's that you say?
I heard a noise and came running, but she was...
Did she do this herself? A murder-suicide?
A fine mess this has become.
The madam is dead?
Madame Golddigger as well? But what about the sale?
That's hardly...
Is it true? Lord Gulliver's wife dead as well?
Whitson, quick to the scene, I see.
Ugh, everyone's already here but you, Sholmes.
So, Madame Golddigger is...
And just why do you think that, Sholmes?
Call it a sixth sense? A flash of insight? A strong hunch? And it tells me now that the murderer is hiding beneath that table! Wait, huh?
Come, Sholmes, even for you, that's a bit... What's that?
A note. I shall follow where you go. Did Madame Golddigger write this?
She killed herself out of grief over the loss of her beloved husband?
No. This was surely planted by the murderer to lead us...
Hang on, where's the challenge in there?
There must be a hidden message. If we...
There's only one sentence!
Oh, enough! We start the investigation from the top. Yeah.